morning and welcome to the Morning Expresso by the Indian Express. My name is Rahil Philippos and let's get you started with today's big story. Retail inflation surged to a 17-month high of 6.95% in March, driven primarily by high prices of fuels and food items such as cereals, vegetables, milk, oil, meat, and fish. With the continued surge in headline inflation, economists said there are lingering concerns that the inflation rate for the health and household goods sectors is turning structural. The center has wrapped up transactions worth an estimated 96,000 crore rupees in 2021 to 22 under the National Monetization Pipeline, surpassing the target of rupees 88,000 crore according to a government official. The coal and mining sectors, road and power assets were key to the monetization target being surpassed last fiscal. Sources said new models such as infrastructure investment trusts, real estate investment trusts, and public-private partnership models such as the toll operate transfer in the road sector and mine developer and operator contracts in the coal sector proved instrumental in the targets being met. Next up are our stories exclusive to the Indian Express. More than 40 people were trapped mid-air in 3 cable cars for over 40 hours in Jharkhand's Deoghar district following a collision along a ropeway at Trikut Hills. The death toll rose to 3 on Tuesday, with a woman falling off a rescue helicopter. It has now emerged that a government-backed agency had conducted a safety audit about 3 weeks ago of the steel rope used to haul the cable cars and reported that its condition was satisfactory. The audit report pointed to 24 local flaws and recommended that a close visual watch be kept on the rope and its joints or the splicing portions. And now for our stories from the front page. Hasina Fakhru, a 60-year-old resident of the Khaskawadi locality of Madhya Pradesh's Khargon, says that her home, built under the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, was demolished by district administration in the locality as part of a drive against illegal properties. In all, 16 houses and 29 shops were torn down by bulldozers across 4 locations in the town following clashes nearby during a Ram Navami procession a day earlier. Not concealing the divergence in view on Russia and its war in Ukraine, the US and India sent clear signals of a willingness to understand each other's position given their shared values and a partnership deepening when there is so much more going on in the world today. Emerging from the 4th 2+2 meeting, US Secretary of State Antony Blinken urged all parties not to increase their purchase of Russian energy. Aware of the oblique reference to India and its purchase of discounted Russian oil, External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar responded to questions on India's lack of condemnation of Russian actions and said, "So first of all, thank you for the advice and suggestions in your question. I prefer to do it in my way and articulate it my way." And now for our must-reads for the day. Rajat Kathuria and Isha Suri write on Big Tech's privacy promise to consumers. You can read their opinion on the Indian Express website. For migrant workers residing in Kashmir's Pulwama district, the last couple of weeks have been shrouded in uncertainty and fear. In the last 20 days alone, 7 migrant workers have been shot at and left injured in the district. With authorities unable to identify any of the suspects, many of these workers have chosen to evacuate Pulwama. These attacks come 5 months after militants carried out a similar series of attacks on non-locals, leaving 5 dead in October. This time, they appear to be taking care not to kill and aiming for the limbs instead. But for daily wagers who can't afford losing work, that is little consolation. The Karnataka government has announced that it will soon be providing school students with eggs as part of the midday meal scheme. But the move has triggered protests. The proposal, which awaits the Karnataka government's final stamp of approval, comes on the back of successive surveys pointing out high prevalence of malnutrition, anemia, and low immunity among children in many parts of the state. We explain the impressive midday meal scheme, its significance, what's usually on the menu, and why adding eggs often runs into controversy. And finally, once Chennai Super Kings got 216 for 4, it was a tall order for Royal Challengers Bangalore. The top order didn't quite contribute much, and Glenn Maxwell's promising cameo was nipped in the bud. But as long as Karthik was there, RCB hoped. In the end, however, as the asking rate climbed to 16, Karthik had no support at the other end and his dismissal for a 14-ball 34 was the game. RCB 193 for 9 lost by 23 runs. After 4 straight defeats, CSK had their first whistle podu moment in this year's IPL. And that's all for today's Morning Expresso. Thank you for watching and don't forget to subscribe to the Indian Express's YouTube channel for the latest news updates.